No Freedom Day for Scots. Nicola is accused of clinging on to large parts of people's lives. Nicola Sturgeon was accused of clinging on to large parts of people's lives as she revealed lockdown will officially end next week, but some laws will remain in place indefinitely. The First Minister confirmed the country would exit Level 0, ending social distancing and limits in the size of social gatherings, on August 9. But she said it was too early to declare freedom from COVID, as she confirmed face coverings will still be required by law indoors, and large events with capacities of more than 2,000 inside and 5,000 outside will have to gain special permission to take place. School children will also have to wear masks in lessons and socially distance in schools for 6 weeks from September. But in a move that will heap pressure on Boris Johnson amid the English pandemic, self-isolation requirements will be dropped if someone passes a PCR test from Monday, a week before the quarantine requirement ends in England. Announcing that face coverings would remain mandatory, the First Minister said it was premature to suggest the pandemic had been beaten. She also raised the spectre of some restrictions returning in winter, saying she could not rule it out. But Scots Tory leader Douglas Ross accused her of moving the goalposts by keeping masks and other measures in place. There are some welcome steps in the right direction, but these ongoing restrictions will hold Scotland back, he said. We are beyond Level 0, at Level -1 or -2, and still the government is clinging on to large parts of people's lives. In a virtual statement to MSPs, Ms Sturgeon said, "This change is significant and hard-earned. The sacrifices everyone has made over the past year and a half can never be overstated." However, while this move will restore a substantial degree of normality, it is important to be clear that it does not signal the end of the pandemic or a return to life exactly as we knew it before COVID struck. Declaring freedom from, or victory over, this virus is premature. The harm the virus can do, including through the impact of long COVID, should not be underestimated. And its ability to mutate may yet pose us real challenges. So even as we make this move today, care and caution will still be required, and that is why I want to focus now on the protections and guidance that will remain in place after August 9. The First Minister delivered her statement this afternoon to the Scottish Parliament virtually. The SNP leader set the August 9 target date back in June before the country moved to the lowest tier of curbs on July 19, which increased the numbers of people who are allowed to gather and extended the opening hours of hospitality. Sports stadia and concert venues will go back to being able to welcome full-capacity crowds again for the first time in nearly 18 months, if they can get permission. The Scottish Government is continuing to consider the use of vaccine passports for access to some events, Ms Sturgeon added. The First Minister told MSPs that an app is under development to allow for such certification for those travelling abroad, but it will also allow for vaccine certification domestically. The First Minister said, "I can assure Parliament that we do not underestimate the ethical, equity and human rights issues associated with COVID status certification and will keep members updated and consulted on our thinking on this issue." Ominously, she added that no one can guarantee that COVID-19 restrictions will not have to be reimposed. "We all hope, I know I certainly do, that the restrictions we lift next Monday will never again have to be reimposed. But no one can guarantee that. This virus remains a threat, and as we enter winter, it may well pose challenges for us again. So as we have done throughout, the government will seek to take whatever action is necessary to keep the country safe. This level is described as nearly normal, except from physical distancing rules, limits on numbers socializing and some hospitality restrictions. Ceremonies, like weddings and funerals, can be attended by 200 people. And the capacity for seated indoor events goes up to 400 people, while outside this is 1,000 at standing events and 2,000 at seated or open space events. Nighttime venues and adult entertainment venues will remain closed even in Level 0 except for use in limited circumstances. And people will still be asked to work from home where they can, although there will be a limited phased return to offices. All plans are subject to review and rely on the continued suppression of the virus and the success of the vaccination's rollout.